everyone and welcome. Today I will be making some blonde brownies, also called blondies. Shout out to you, Morgan, at work. We were talking about this recipe the other day and how you had made it and it turned out kind of harder than what you thought as far as like texture wise. But this recipe contains shortening, where some other recipes contain butter, and that is going to be the secret to making a softer blonde brownie or blondie, whatever you want to call it. So first you're going to need 1 cup of melted shortening. So I already have that melted up. You could also just melt it up in your microwave, but I usually just put it on my stove and then just shut it off and let it sit in the pan until I'm ready. And then you'll need 2 1/4 cups of brown sugar, which I have measured out right here. And that's a lot, 2 1/4 cups. And that's the only sugar that you'll need. You won't need any white sugar. Then 4 eggs. Again, I use my egg replacer because I'm going to make a vegan version of this. And I had never made it before with egg replacer, and I'm just going to show you. I did a batch right before this. I put it in a usual jelly roll pan that I usually use, my medium size, and this is how it turned out. It kind of came up over the edges, so I'm going to be using a little bit larger tray this time so that it doesn't turn out quite like that. So we'll see. We're experimenting with it. So this is the equivalent of 4 eggs. I'm going to put this egg replacer in here. So if you do use regular eggs in this recipe, you can just put it in a medium-sized pan and it'll be fine when it bakes. All of that in, and now we're going to mix that up until it's smooth. Mixture is all made up. That's your first 3 ingredients. And next we're going to put your last 3 ingredients. So it's only 6 ingredients altogether. So we're going to have 3 cups of flour, which I already have measured out. Dump that in. Then we're going to have 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which again I have all measured out. And then the next ingredient is going to be whatever you like. You can do chocolate chips. I'm going to be doing butterscotch chips. You can mix half and half, do half chocolate, half butterscotch. I also have one I made over here that I put some peppermint in, so with the chocolate. So you could also do a chocolate peppermint too. And when I'm all done, I'm going to be melting some chocolate and putting over top of that one. And I will put some crushed candy canes over top of that too. So for this one, because it is going to be butterscotch, I think I'll leave a few of the chips out so that I can melt those and pour over the top when it's all done. I think maybe I'll leave maybe about maybe about 1/4 cup or so out. Maybe not quite. Okay, get that all mixed up. That mixture is all made up. That's your first 3 ingredients. And next we're going to put your last 3 ingredients. So it's only 6 ingredients altogether. So we're going to have 3 cups of flour, which I already have measured out. Okay, so it's all mixed up, and I'm just going to go and put it on my cookie sheet or jelly roll pan, whatever you have. Like I say, I'm going to use a little bit larger one than I usually do just because I know the last one got really, really puffy because of the egg replacer I used in it. And I lined it with release foil so that when it's done, I can just take it off of the tray and just leave it sit to cool, which I haven't done that yet with my other one, but I could have, just to make it cool a lot faster. And when you go to cut it too, you're cutting it on the foil, not cutting on your tray. All right, so we're just going to get this smashed down and get it into the oven. The oven's going to be 325 degrees at about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, we're back and it's been 25 minutes, and I'm going to take out the brownies in the oven. Done. Let me test them. Yep, they're done. So now what I'm going to do is I took the rest of my butterscotch chips and I put a little bit of the shredded wax in there, and I'm just going to put them in the microwave and stir them up to melt them. Probably do about 20 some seconds each. I put them in once already, so I'll put them in for another 20 seconds. pretty good and melted. And just drizzle it over the top. All right, we're back with the finished products. The first one is a chocolate mint one with some peppermint candy canes crushed on top of it that I did earlier. And then the one I did the video on was the butterscotch one with melted butterscotch over top of it. So I did spread it out into the other pan, and as you can see, yeah, it definitely is bigger and filled up the pan. So the egg replacer, that's the secret to getting it to be bigger. And the most important secret is the shortening. Instead of butter or margarine or anything else used in it, it's a cup of melted shortening.